Hola and welcome to my breakup survival guide part 3 healing video. If you're watching this video, it means that you're going through a bad breakup, and I am so sorry. I've been there a couple of times and I know how devastating it can be. But I also know that you can heal completely from a breakup and emerge even more amazing and stronger than you were before. And this is what my breakup survival guide is all about. You came to the right place, chicas. I want to take a minute here and explain that I am a heterosexual cisgender woman. So my advice will come from that perspective and therefore apply mostly to people of the same sexual orientation and or gender identity. Additionally, I'm all about self-love and being true to yourself. So if you're looking for breakup advice that's centered around getting your ex back, there are other YouTube channels that can help you out with that. Check out the links in my description. My dating advice is always centered around your best interests, how to stay safe, how not to betray yourself, and how to always keep your dignity intact, because sometimes the only thing that you get to walk away from a relationship with is just that, your dignity. In this short video, I'm going to give you the 6 crucial steps to healing from a breakup completely, so make sure you watch until the end. Hola chicas poderosas, I'm Mari Rosas, self-love trainer, and this is my YouTube channel, Chica Power, where you learn how to fall in love with yourself first. I want to ask you for a favor. If you like this video and find it helpful, please give it a like, and please, por favor, subscribe to my channel. You can ring the bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a new video. Healing is the most difficult part of the breakup recovery process, in my opinion. If you don't heal properly, you run the risk of becoming bitter or jaded and or being so afraid of getting hurt again that you build those proverbial walls around yourself and you do not let anyone get close to you for a long time or even forever. The goal of my breakup survival guide is to help you work through those emotions in a healthy way so that you heal completely, are strengthened by the experience, while ensuring that your heart remains open and supple and capable of being vulnerable for a future relationship. Step number 1 is to continue having no contact with your ex. As I mentioned in my breakup survival guide part 2 pain management video, this means no calling, no texting, no social media. Remove him from all of your social media accounts and block him if necessary. No talking to his friends who you know will relay messages to him, and no showing up at places where you think you might be able to run into him. The no contact rule is often suggested as a tactic to help get your ex back, but this is not the case here. I believe that it is crucial to give yourself the space to heal without being influenced by your ex. So when I suggest that you block him from social media if you have to, I don't just mean to block him if he's trying to contact you on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. I mean, block him if you find yourself constantly looking at his social media sites for signs that he's missing you, or worse yet, dating someone else. And I know it's difficult not to fall into that, because even if you've decided that you no longer want this man in your life, your ego wants him to want you back. Am I right? But keeping virtual tabs on him keeps you in his world mentally and emotionally. whether you want to admit it to yourself or not. And remember, the goal here is for you to heal so that you can eventually detach and move on. So you need to step out of his world and be fully present in your own world, in your own life, because this is what you have control over, and this is where all that healing needs to take place. Step number 2 is to remove all of those dark and negative emotions from your heart. As I mentioned in my Breakup Survival Guide Part 2 pain management video, it doesn't really matter who did the breaking up. Maybe you ended it, maybe he ended it. If there were any deep or genuine feelings involved, there's bound to be feelings of pain, anger, betrayal, regret, and maybe even bitterness involved. For example, the breakup, not including my divorce, that I had the worst time recovering from was that of a 2-year relationship with, let's give him the fictional name Diego, that I ended because I felt that I had been betrayed and used, but I was still in love with him when I broke up with him. I was so incredibly hurt. I remember the amount of pain I felt was almost unbearable. And I felt impatient with myself because I've always been a resilient person and I just wanted to bounce back quickly. But instead, I felt weighed down by the heaviness of my emotions. There was no shortcut for my pain. I had to wade right through it as if I was slowly walking through a tar pit, which at times threatened to pull me all the way in. But I kept inching forward ever so slowly until I finally made it through. That raw initial pain was replaced by anger and bitterness. And I despise those dark feelings so much because I am by nature a joyful, sweet, and gentle person. The fact that I now had these extremely negative feelings inside of me only added resentment to top it all off. I felt this drastic change in my normally soft and open heart, and that really frightened me. I made a promise to myself that I was gonna do whatever I needed to do to restore my heart back to its original supple, soft, open, and generous state. The remaining steps of this video all contributed to healing my heart, but it all started with a beautiful heart healing 34-minute meditation that I did every single day, sometimes more than once a day, until I felt that I had removed all of those hard, bitter feelings from my heart. It's called Guided Meditation for Healing a Broken Heart by David Kessler, who is a co-author of the book, You Can Heal Your Heart. See the links in my description. This beautiful guided meditation calls upon you to recall any wounds that your heart has sustained and guides you through a visualization exercise where you actually scoop those injuries out of your heart and place them into an imaginary bag to be cleansed and dissolved. You're actually doing like the scooping motion with your hand and putting it into the bag. The meditation is meant to be done with your eyes closed, but being that I'm a very busy working single mom with a long daily commute, I did it while I was driving to work every morning, and it was still effective. I remember crying every time that I did the meditation, but it was like this really nice release, and it felt so good to visualize removing all of those dark and hard feelings that I did not want inside my heart. Step number 3 is forgiveness. In order to let go of those negative emotions, you need to forgive. If you feel like he wronged you in any way, again, regardless of who did the breaking up, You need to forgive him in your heart so that you can reconcile the hurt, let it go, and find peace. And I just want to be clear here. I'm not suggesting that you tell him that you've forgiven him. He never actually needs to know this. You are doing this for yourself, not for him. If he's someone that you eventually want to have a friendship with, you can tell him then when you're done healing. But at this point, no one needs to know besides you and anyone else that you choose to tell. Forgive him when you're ready. And this might take some time. You may need to use a daily forgiveness affirmation in order to get there. For example, I forgive Diego in my heart, or my heart forgives Diego. Don't give up on this. If you find that you just can't forgive him yet, give yourself some more time. Once you truly forgive someone for the pain that they have caused you, you will feel like this huge weight has been lifted from your life. In some cases, you may regret something that you did or pain that you inflicted in a relationship, and it's equally important here to forgive yourself. You are human, we all make mistakes. It's good at least that you've acknowledged and taken responsibility for your actions. Hopefully you will learn from this mistake and make better choices in the future. Watch my self-acceptance part 1 video for more details and techniques to help you forgive others and forgive yourself. Step number 4 is to stay positive. The healing process after a breakup is not easy. It can be exhausting and suck a lot of the joy out of your life, so it's important that you actively pursue ways to stay positive. It's my belief that during the most difficult times in our lives, it's super important to focus on the positives. When my ex-husband unexpectedly passed away, and my then 9-year-old daughter and I were left in grief and shock, I instituted a positivity challenge. Every night after we said our prayers together, we each had to say 3 things that we had enjoyed about our day. Some days it was really difficult to find 3 things that we had enjoyed. And so we had to get really granular. So for example, I liked the way the house smelled when I was making dinner. And I enjoyed the smell of my body lotion when I moisturized after my shower. And I loved the sound of the kitty purring when I was petting her. And on some days, there were more than 3 things that we had really enjoyed. So we had to rank our top 3 things. But the lesson here was that we could find 3 things every single day, no matter how small. Additionally, as we went through each day, we were aware that we would have to come up with 3 positive experiences every night. So we were consciously seeking those pleasurable experiences throughout the day. I watched my little girl's positivity skyrocket to the point that she would even comfort me when I was having a bad day. That old adage, seek and you shall find, definitely applies here. Watch my videos on happiness and joy for more ideas. Step number 5 is to focus on yourself. Like I said before, this healing process is a time for you to focus on you. You're likely feeling disappointed that this relationship that you put a lot of yourself into didn't work out. You may feel acutely like there's a void where that relationship used to be. However, the void shouldn't be so large that you feel that you have nothing outside of work and family. Maybe you had put so much of yourself into this relationship that you had lost yourself in it. You had stopped pursuing all of those interests and hobbies that you had before you were in the relationship. Or maybe you didn't even have a lot of hobbies before the relationship. This is a time for you to think about the things that you have always wanted to do in life and find ways of doing them. This brings me to one of my all-time favorite movies. I confess I've yet to read the book, Eat, Pray, Love with Julia Roberts. Following her painful divorce and then immediately after having this short but intense relationship with a younger man that doesn't work out, the Julia Roberts character takes off on a year-long international journey to Italy, India, and Bali to find herself. Most of us don't have the luxury of leaving everything behind for an entire year to go find ourselves, but it doesn't mean that we can't spend some time thinking about what it would be that would really make us happy and fulfilled. I believe that many women tend to derive most, if not all, of their happiness from their relationships. I did it myself for many years. And it's a dangerous way to live because we can't really control the outcome of any relationship, right? I'm a firm believer that true, authentic, lasting happiness comes from within you. My recommendation is to focus on falling in love with yourself during this time. Once you do that and you fully realize how amazing you are and you're fulfilling your own dreams, you aren't gonna bother with anyone who isn't equally great and treats you the way you deserve to be treated. Watch my videos on self-love for a much deeper dive into that central topic. Step number 6 is give yourself the closure that you want or need. Oftentimes after a breakup, we're left with things that we wanted to say or words that we wanted to hear. I don't recommend spewing out all of those hurt feelings that you have to your ex, no matter how much he may deserve it. Remember, men are not as adept to handling their own, let alone the emotions of others, and he would probably rather be trampled by a herd of wild elephants than to be subject to what it is you want to unleash on him. I know you really don't care about his preferences right now, and neither do I if he did you wrong, Chica. But I do care about your reputation and your dignity. If you unleash your emotional hellfire on him, it's very common and somewhat likely that he is gonna label you as his crazy ex-girlfriend to take the blame away from himself. Plus, don't give him the satisfaction of seeing your pain. He doesn't deserve that. Silence and no contact is a much better way of making him face what he did. This doesn't mean that you have to keep it all bottled up inside and that you can't find an outlet for what it is you want to say to him. I recommend writing him a letter or an email that you're never actually going to send and just let it all rip. No matter how nasty, get it out, Chica. It will feel great, I promise you. And if you want to take it a step further, draft a response letter from him where he admits how badly he hurt you and lets you know how much he regrets it and how no one else will ever measure up. Include everything that you wish he would say, even though you know you never want him back. Your ego wants to hear those things. These exercises are very cathartic and allow you to keep your dignity in pristine shape. The final step, number 7, is to talk about it as much as you need to. Talk to your friends, family, or your therapist about your feelings surrounding the breakup. This is one of the best ways to process and sort out your feelings. As women, we are experts at doing this. And one of the reasons why we're able to process our emotions so much better than men. My sister Marta is a saint. She endured countless conversations when I was getting over my breakup with Diego. I want to thank you publicly, hermanita. I love you and appreciate you so much. I want to mention here that I don't recommend turning to alcohol or any other substance for that matter for healing, as this can lead to excessive use and or abuse, and that's not going to help you in any way. In fact, it's harmful to you and potentially to others. A drink or two with family and friends is fine, but if you have an addictive personality, or if you've had issues with alcoholism or substance abuse in the past, you should stay away at all costs. If at any point you feel like there's no hope and you're contemplating ending your life, please seek professional help immediately. See the links in my description for suicide prevention hotlines. Well, that's it for today, chicas. As you know, if you've been watching my videos, I like to end with a refrán. A refrán is a wise Latina saying or adage. Today's nugget of wisdom is el tiempo lo cura todo, which translates into time cures everything and is very similar to the adage, time heals all wounds. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And please, please, por favor, give me your feedback and your questions in the comment section. I read and respond to them all. Besos y abrazos a todas. Hugs and kisses to all. Mwah.